What do you feel like was the most pivotal moment for you that maybe changed the trajectory of your Syracuse career?
Yes, that's a great question, and it was my freshman year. I didn't start the first two games of the season, but Adrian Autry came down and he sprained his ankle. That was my teammate, who's now the head coach at Syracuse University. He sprained his ankle, and Coach Boeheim would put who's the starters each game we would play. He would put who's starting. He would write down on the list before you even get to the locker room. So as I walk in, we were playing in Atlanta at the Omni, and it was called the ACC Big East Challenge. So we played Florida State, and they had great players: Sam Cassell, Rodney Dobar, Bob Sir. I ended up being my teammate at Vancouver, Doug Edwards. They had a very good team, and I remember walking in the locker room and seeing my name on the list as the starter, and I was so happy and just with emotion that I left the locker room. And this times, you girls don't know about payphones. A lot of people don't know about payphones. So we didn't have access to phones at the time. So I left the locker room and I went under the tunnel and I saw a payphone. And I remember dialing that number, dialing zero, collect call to my mother, may she rest in peace. And I was like, "Ma, I'm starting." And I remember her screaming so loud, "Oh, baby, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy. I got one thing to tell you." I'm like, "What? Give it to me, Mom. Give it to me." She said, "Don't give it back." And I was blessed to have 4 great years at Syracuse. I ended up having 24 points that game, my first starting game of my year. And the rest is history, but I never gave it back.
You never did.
Mhm.
And out of 121 games that you played at Syracuse, you scored double figures in 118.
Yes.
So the first two didn't start, so we're gonna give you a pass, and then one more you might have been sick. But every other game you scored at least 20 points, and that's unheard of. That
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, Lala, is I remember the 3 games that I had
Ooh,
9 points each
mhm,
time.
right there,
All 3 games that
right
I
there.
didn't score double figures,
Wow.
I had 9 points, and I remember that. So, yeah, I was hard on myself, but hard in a good way. Because I tell people all the time, when you in whatever you do in life, if you truly feel like you're working hard at it and giving it your all, nobody could tell you you're not working hard.
And how do you gauge that? As somebody who a lot of people would say was perfect, right? Like I know that oftentimes people will tell me and explain how your game was because I didn't get to see you play. And they'll say like it was just so easy for him. You know, he had like a poetic style, that smooth crossover, the high socks. It seemed like it was just so easy for him. How do you, explain to those people that it wasn't easy? It came
Yeah.
from tons of hard work that we're learning about right now.
Mhm.
And, you were just blessed to have a gift, you
Yes.
know?
Yep, the gift of anticipation, the gift of seeing things happen before they happen. And I was big on that, and I credit that to me playing football also, which helped me understand contact. I wasn't worried about hitting somebody's body because I was tackling people. So, and I played safety, so I knew how to read and react. I knew if the big man got the ball at the top of the key, his first instinct would be catch and pass. So I would always read. That would be my steal. So, just like little things like that, always being a student of the game and anticipating and knowing situations helped me. But it also ended up being a flaw to an extent uh, later in my career.
Mm.
While playing in the NBA, I remember wasn't playing as much as I wanted to, and I felt like I should have. And I remember talking to my agent and having him, ask the coaches, "What's the problem? Like, why am I not playing as much as I should?" And he would always say, "Well, they're saying they looking like they say in practice and in the games, it looks like you're not working hard enough or you're not giving your all." Well, my thing was like, well, I'm giving you 20 to 25 points.
Mhm.
So what more do you
The
want? So
productivity was there.
so sometimes it could be a flaw of some people saying that you're not working hard enough.
Yeah. Well, I think you were just before your time because now when I look at the NBA, it's all finesse. It's all smooth. it's really the goal of these players, from my eyes, from a fan's standpoint, is to make things look as easy as possible.
Yeah.
They don't even want to, they don't want you to see them sweat,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, I think that's just a credit to you, like you said, like anticipations, being so forward thinking,
Mhm.
and what's for you can't be for you. But do you agree with that? Do you feel like you were
W
before your time a little bit?
Oh, well, I'm definitely I can say I was before
Like
my
you would have
time
fit in
with
the
the
NBA right now. Your playing
absolutely.
style completely.
Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. It would have been easier because it was a little bit harder when I was coming up because they had true centers.
Yes.
Now today there's no true low post big men. I mean, you have great players. They're great players now. Don't get me wrong, but no Shaquille O'Neal's, no Akeem Olajuwons, Patrick Ewings, where guys were stuck on that block. And then I'm not even talking about the power forwards, Karl Malone, Dennis Rodman, just big bodies that you will have to actually have contact with from their teammates running you off screen. So I tell people basketball is now outside in, meaning the 3-point line in,
Mhm,
instead of when I was coming up inside out. The
mhm.
big man had to touch the ball first before you could make your move and do what you want to do. So you throw it into the big, make your cuts, or stay there. If the big throw it back to you, now it's on you. But the choice back then was feed the big man, feed the big man. Now it's more 3-point
Everybody
shots.
can shoot threes,
Everybody's
spread
shacking
out.
threes. Yep,
Yeah,
more
throw
spread
one
it out
in,
type of
just
game.
yeah, play
And,
ball.
it's cool. It's just it's called a different time.
Mhm.
It is what it is. But I definitely think it was more aggressive and physical when I was playing.
I think everyone would attest to that. That's the ongoing debate, within this generation. Like, who would it be
Oh
harder? Is
yeah,
LeBron better than Michael?
and there are a
That
lot of
whole
great players. But
conversation.
one of the things I want to say, I'm glad you brought that up, is to me is very important. The Michael Jordan and LeBron James
Debate.
debate. Can we please stop it? And my point is this: it should be Michael Jordan, Kobe,
Mhm.
LeBron, Magic. See, two different styles. Magic fits LeBron fits more Magic style, and of course, Kobe will tell you he did everything like Mike. May Kobe rest in peace. So it's more Kobe, Mike, LeBron, Magic.
Why do you
And,
think people want to? I mean, true basketball players, I think, can understand what you're saying, right? With like just the size alone, right?
mhm.
Magic was what, six
The
nine
the
point
size
guard.
alone and the killer instinct and the tenacity that Mike played, Kobe had that same thing. Now Magic was more finesse, could do it all. 6'9" point guard. LeBron 6'9", finesse, physical at a time, but if a lot of people don't understand, he didn't have a post game in his early part of his career. But until he started to learn that, I think that's when his game changed. So more similar to Magic to me, but
Mhm.
the Mike and LeBron talk should never be talked about. It's always Mike, Kobe.
All right.